Alright, everyone, time to take a look at the second episode of the day, which is A.W.O.L. The scene opens on Diggle and Lila going for a stroll through the city and agonizing over returning home and an ideal opportunity for her sitter. Operator Chang, an old partner of Lila's, comes in and says he needs Lila's assistance connecting with Waller, that he's been undermined. Out of nowhere, a gathering of shooters get Chang to start a shot on Diggle. It's on a tissue wound and escape. At home, Oliver throws Felicity down the steps to her wheelchair. She reveals to Oliver that he needs to take a shot at the dark issue, and that he may need to do it without her. Oliver says her superpower is in her psyche, yet she says there's parcel on it, and she's not prepared to return yet. Oliver gets a book from John and Lila, and he's departed himself. At the lair, Oliver and Laura have joined Thea and the Diggles. Lila thinks Chang was taking a shot at something under the table at the command of Amanda Waller. Oliver says they have to follow him before the grabbing becomes something more awful. Diggle brings his sibling a big belly burger. In a cell, Andy asks Diggle how he got hung up with the Green Arrow. He says he never gets the chance to ask Diggle inquiries back. He needs to realize how Dig wound up with Team Arrow, and Diggle discloses to him that Oliver is a decent man, and they're helping their locale. Flashback to 2005 in Afghanistan, where the siblings are working with the boss who needs to go remove a shipment of Taliban sedits that will pay for weapons. Their vehicle experiences harsh criticism, and in spite of some impulsive activities by Andy, Diggle figures out how to make sense of an approach to take out the other truck and get themselves away to well-being. At the condo, Felicity takes more than her suggested portion of painkillers, and is welcomed by a dream of herself as a more youthful, dull-haired goth programmer. At home sightseeing, Laurel appears at converse with cops and, in wake of diverting them, welcomes Diggle to distinguish the body. It's Chang. He's been terminated and his eyes has been taken. At Argus, Amanda and Laura won't educate the Diggles and anything regarding Chang's task. She reveals to Lila that she's been missed and shakes her hand, and Lila is astounded. In the phone room, Lila shows Diggle that Waller slipped her a thumb drive. At home, Felicity understands that mind flights are a typical reaction to her painkiller. She got Felicity to contend, with her more youthful self disclosing to her that she squandered her life playing hero, and now she's in the wheelchair as a result of it. At the lair, Lila opens up the thumb drive. Chang had taken out a weapon running association called Shadow Spire a couple years back. His two accomplice operators on the sting are dead. Diggle comes in with some desk work. He recalls Shadow Spire as well, from Afghanistan. The Diggle siblings are reviewing the opium they seized when their CO comes to converse with them, recommending that them three could rake in bullets of cash if a portion of those medications went AWOL. Andy decays, not pleasantly, and keep in mind that he gets a danger from the CO for his difficulties. Diggle is glad for him. At the lair, Diggle irately requests data about Shadow Spire from Andy. Andy says he has nothing to do with those folks any longer. He knows how they work and advises Diggle to search for the closest free port as a base of activities. At the closest free port, Team Arrow scouts the zone. Oliver shouts to Felicity, who brings on their security capacities. Oliver and Diggle will remain behind to manage watches while Thea and Laurel head for the prisoner. However, when they arrive, the two missing Argus operators are dead. Back at home, Felicity loses control of her hack. The door's pummel shut behind Oliver, catching him inside and isolating him from Diggle. While Felicity freezes and gets assaulted by goth Felicity, Oliver blows his way in and salvages Diggle. Afterward, Oliver punches Felicity for pushing her, saying he believed that getting back in the game would assist her with feeling increasingly ordinary. She says there is no return to typical, that she can never again be a piece of the group. Oliver says she can't let her physical issues stop her. However, she says she's caught in the condo constantly, and that now she can't even silence her psyche. Goth Felicity appears and begins ridiculing her, and she tells Goth Felicity to quiet down, yet Oliver believes it's for him. At Argus, Diggle requires Andy to be questioned. They move him to a cell there, and Laura comes to converse with Andy. She says that the operators who were seen dead today were assumed as guarding a shipment of real weapons. Andy says that's not Shadow Spire's style, that if there's something that prominent they're engaged with, it's an interruption. At the den, Oliver's preparing Lorville with boxing cushions, and she strikes him not be so difficult himself about Felicity. Oliver says he's been reprimanding himself for everything that has turned out so badly since he urged Barry to time travel. At the point when Laurel's attempting to cause him feel better, Oliver gets a call from Diggle. They need to go monitor the rail weapons shipment. At the loft, Goth Felicity goes from deriding Felicity to advising her to quit feeling frustrated about herself, and quit imagining that she's a hero. She leaves, and Felicity cries. While two arrows stake out the rail firearm shipment, Lila and Waller squawk about the legislative issues of Argus when Shadowspire disappear for the rail firearms. Oliver figures something isn't right, and it is. Dwarves with Shadowspire specialists realize Chang's take an eye to read Argus biometrics and get into the structure. Lieutenant Joyner, a Shadowspire operator conspicuous from Diggle's Afghanistan flashbacks, is driving the soldiers, and he and Waller know one another. Joyner needs something many refer to as Rubicon, and says he'll kill an operator at regular intervals until Waller gives him get to. In the territory where Diggle had been sitting with his sibling close to the phones, Diggle attempts to hack the security screens to get an outside sign. Lynn reveals to him that they have to make a move themselves. In Afghanistan, Diggle sees Andy conversing with Joyner. However, Andy works out a difficulty. At the lair, Felicity shows up to reveal Oliver that she's back, that she needs to be a piece of team arrow to help individuals, and to sub dark in light of the fact that it's her main thing. That's what her identity is. On PC players, Oliver gets a video feed from Argus, demonstrating that Lila is at serious risk. At Argus, Joyner takes steps to murder Lila and to gain admittance to the Rubicon. Waller says she's totally equipped for watching them murder everybody in the room. She'll still never give him what he needs. When Lila affirms the case, Joyner kills her and discloses to Lila that she now has 20 minutes to give him what he needs. In the holding region, Andy has Diggle to let him tag along and help. Group Arrow shows up on the scene. Oliver calls Felicity Overwatch, her new codename, and she helps break them into Argus. In the holding territory, two Shadowspire folks go get Andy Diggle, who advises him to let Joyner know he's there and ready to help. They walk Andy into the primary room and reveals to Joyner that John is Lila's significant other. All they need to do as to get what they need is hold a firearm on Diggle. Group Arrow begins working through the foyers, taking out Shadowspire folks. However, another pair can get Diggle into authority. Jordan puts a weapon in Diggle's head, and when Diggle advises Lila to do it, she begins entering the Rubicon codes. Jordan puts in the firearm. Felicity calls Team Arrow to let them know Diggle needs assistance. She's sticking what Lila is attempting to do. Whoever needs Canary and Speedy close to the protective vault where Rubicon is held as a protection strategy. While she works, Goth Felicity appears, and Felicity berates her. When Lila can't get to the sublevel vault, Joyner puts a weapon on Diggle again, and Andy and Diggle collaborate to bring down Joyner and two or three of his men. Oliver and Lila participate, and it's an out-of-control situation until there's no Shadowspire left standing. Diggle expresses gratitude toward Andy, who could see the entire thing was John's thought. Afterward, at the sanctuary, Oliver and Lila chose to mend Waller, despite snarky comments from Felicity. Group Arrow blamed Diggle somewhat about his sibling. In Afghanistan, Joyner gives an envelope of cash to Andy. He says it's a badge of gratefulness from the boss, who goes along with them. It's Ryder, who would exchange the opium for a guide to Lee and Yu. At their condo, Oliver presents to Felicity a container from Capacity. She shows some photograph of herself as Goth Felicity, which she consumes, saying she need to bother with that individual any longer. Oliver discusses to Felicity that while he knows it's not beneficial to try to claim ignorance about her condition, they live in a peculiar world, and he'll constantly for an approach to make Felicity walk once more. At his home, Diggle carries Andy to remain with him and Lila, and guarantees Andy she and John settle on the choice together. John brings Sarah in to see Andy, inviting him home. Aww. So let's take a look at some trivia surrounding this episode. The term A.W.O.L stands for absent without leave or absent without official leave. Oliver mentioned to Laura that Barry traveled back in time, which happened in the episode Legends of Yesterday. Felicity jokes that her new codename could be Hot Wheels, a reference to the brand of toy cars. DC Comics had published a comic book series on the brand in 1970 to 1971. This episode introduces the organization's Shadow Spire, who originally appeared in the comics as enemies to Deathstroke. However, while introduced in present-day storyline, they are more prominent flashback storyline, starting with the candidate. Lieutenant Joyner is likely reference to DC Comics writer Tom Joyner, the creator of Shadow Spire. Felicity is given the new codename Overwatch. It is the title of a novel written by Mark Guggenheim and was said to have been suggested by fans. Oliver claims that he would have called Felicity Oracle, but the name was taken. This is a reference to the character of Barbara Gordon, who goes by that codename in the comics, and like Felicity, is a paraplegic hacker, though Barbara was initially a field vigilante known as Batgirl before her paralysis. This also might be a joke at the fans, because during the winter hiatus, it was heavily theorized that Felicity would become Oracle. The writers for the episode, Brightford Sullivan and Mia Aldridge, appear in cameos as the pictured and missing Argus agents John Lee and Tim Sullivan, respectively. The railgun Shadow Spire pretended to steal restored containers labeled Cord Industries. And now, finally, let's take a look at a goof. The synopsis erroneously states that Oliver has to learn a new way of life. However, it actually refers to Felicity dealing with her recent paralysis. So overall, I think this episode is kind of interesting, and I do like the flashbacks that happen between John and Andy and stuff like that. So yeah. So overall, I give A.W.O.L 4 arrowheads out of 5. Anyway, tune in to wait till the final episode of the day, Unchained. So until then, in the words of Oliver Queen, you have failed this city.